all come from somewhere, and we all have these backgrounds and these lives and these histories that go on and they shape and define us. And most of us don't come from a lot, and yet we use that to define us, and we think that that's limiting us, when really the only thing that is limiting us is the belief in ourselves that we can do differently. We can do differently. Let that sink in. It's not an easy one to hear, because then you have to take responsibility for the choices that you make and the things that you do, and whether or not you show up for yourself. Sure, it's easy to make excuses. Sure, it's easy to point fingers at other people and think that for some reason somebody else has done something that has prevented us from succeeding in the way that we hope or wish we could. When in fact the reality is that we didn't show up for ourselves. We didn't show up, and therefore it didn't work out the way we had hoped. But meanwhile, that hope was really just like this fabricated idea that we never really even invested ourselves in. In order to actually succeed, the only difference is applying yourself and actually doing it again and again. So I come from a family of construction workers. My mom was a stay-home mom for most of my life. And I had a good life. It was comfortable. It was great. My family, my dad came from a man who didn't even graduate grade 6, and he came from a man who was a bootlegging farmer. We don't have to have a strong history to decide that we can do something. That's up to us. Forget about where you come from. Forget about who you've been. Decide who you want to be and stay focused on that. And start making little change by little change. I grew up in a household where negativity and frustration and excuses ran rampant. I had every excuse there was imaginable to not do anything other than beat myself down, think of what I should be doing, what I wasn't doing right, to look at myself in the mirror, to tell myself that I should go on a diet, because that's what I had been taught, is to tell yourself nasty things when you look in the mirror. But one day, I decided that I was tired of this little voice inside of my head telling me all these nasty things about myself, and I was going to change it. Did it happen overnight? Absolutely not. It has been, I would say, probably a 9-year process, which probably could have saved a few years had I applied myself a little bit more. But hey, we all have life. We all are growing at our own rate, and I don't regret any of the challenges that helped make me even stronger and to show back up and to continue changing that mindset. And to some people, the whole idea of motivation or of positive thinking is just garbage. It's garbage. People think it's crap. And so, I mean, if you're one of those people, hey, go turn on the news, because the news. There is all kinds of crap for you to listen to and all kinds of negativity. But if you've decided that voice inside your head is a little bit tiring, if the life that you're living isn't quite what you had dreamed about as a little girl, then here's a shocker. It's up to you to change it. Nobody else. So decide how you want to change it and get to work.